And welcome back to round 3 of Conflict of Heroes, the solo expansion brought to you, the game that is, brought to you by Academy Games. This video brought to you by Battlefield Banter. In quick summary, round 1, it was all going the German way. As they kept on moving without exhausting their units, round 2 the Russians came back swinging, I would say, and the Germans exhausted themselves very rapidly. And then, as I noted at the end of the video in round 2, I did make a fairly egregious error in that I was passing as the AI, the Germans that is, was passing when all their units were spent. They should actually have been um, drawing a card just to see if, for example, they got a command order which would have activated any of the exhausted units, or if a time marker had a time check had come up moving along the time marker. But I didn't do that, so that's one big error I'll try and remedy. So that's so far one error in favor of the Russians, I would say. But I did make an error earlier in the game, and I was ignoring the heads on the spent checks, and I did notice that at least one Russian unit, this guy over here, was spent when he should not have been spent. So maybe it's evened itself out. I don't know. But we're not going back. We're just going to carry on with round 3. We're all set up. The units have been flipped over to their non-spent side. The deck's been shuffled. I did not use my command action card from round 2, so that stays in my hand, and I draw up another one, which is auto rally. Okay, so it will cost me 2 APs or caps, but as an action, automatically rally a unit, even if in close combat. So that's pretty good. It's kind of a step up from the one I had before, which was a take a free action or reaction with any unit. So I will keep those in hand. And the first thing and the last thing I did to reset the turn was to put the Russian command action points back to 3. So the first thing to do is to decide whether I, the Russian player, want to spend any action points to try and influence the initiative check, because if I lose the initiative, well, there's a couple of reasons why I don't want to lose the initiative. One is there is a 2 units here now active, and in there's going to be some close combat there, and then I have this unit here which has moved into the rear of this unit here, and so has a flank shot if this unit is by himself with no the AI is not allowed to shoot into hexes containing its own unit. So in a sense, this guy is safe from the flank fire until this mismelee is resolved. But I only have 3 caps to spend, so I'm not going to dedicate one. I'm just going to hope I roll well. Didn't work out for me in round 2. Let's see if it works out any better on round 3. I'm looking for an 8 or better. And there we go, 12. So can't beat that. The Russians then have the initiative. And what are they going to do is the question. So as the game stands, we've got lots of time in hand. The Russians do have a small advantage, 2-1 in victory points. They do have this control marker captured. This unit here cannot enter this hex here until unless it's the last unit standing. So it's this control marker is safe. I think the first thing to do would be to execute the close assault here. So because this unit is in the same hex as this unit, it gets the basis is 3 fire attack plus 4 for being in the same hex, and this is cover. It is a building cover, so the defense of this unit will be the flank defense of 11 plus 1 of 12. So I need to equal 12 to inflict a hit. I think equal 16 to actually kill the unit outright. So I'm going with 3 plus 4 for being in the same hex, and I'm going to throw in 2, 1, 2. CPs to make this a 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 9 is the 9 is my base dice roll. I'm going for it, hoping to eliminate that German unit outright. 9 plus 8 is going to be 17, which does exceed this defense of 11 plus 1 of 12, so I exceeded the 16 needed. So this unit here, this German unit, is eliminated, and the Russians gain 1 extra victory point. Now they have spent fire attack is spent 4. This number here, 4 action points. So let's see if they are spent. And wow, they are not spent, because they would have been spent on a 5 or more. And in addition, there is a head on this card, so they would not have been spent even if they had spent 5 action points. All right, excellent start for the Russians. Let's see how the AI responds to that. Okay, first of all, a check on the time. If AI plus units is less than or equal to 6, well, it might be now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is. Then we move the time along 1. So we move from 4 to 5, and there is no action in here. Coming up, we have a bogged down action for the half track and a dice roll on the next time the clock increments, but nothing this time. Moving down in the priority section here, we have nothing in the same hex anymore. So this would have, if there'd been a unit stacked with this German unit, this Russian unit here rather, there would have been a close combat. But the second one does apply. We have an adjacent unit, so this unit will fire. And so he's firing with a 2. He's adjacent, so it's +2. And into the flank of this unit here. So 2 plus 2 is the 4 is the base for the German unit as they retaliate. And okay, that's good dice rolling from both sides. So that is 12 and 4 is 16. What they needed was 11 plus 1 is 12 for a hit, and 16 for an outright casualty. So that is a casualty. It will go on to the casualty track here to limit further caps next time, CPs I should say, for the Russians down to 2, and then the German victory point total moves up to 2. So now we have 3 versus 2. Good shooting there, and let's see, that was not a command order, so the Germans have spent 3 APs. Let's see if they are spent. They are not spent. Okay, so what to do next? My auto rally is not coming in very handy because there was no one to be rallied. I could take a free action or reaction with any unit. Just give me a second. Did I put away the wrong card? Yeah, I thought so. This was the one that was spent earlier when I was tidying up the decks. Let's do that. This is the one that I didn't spend last time. It was a rally attempt. Cost of 0 or it doesn't cost anything, but it's a rally attempt. So sorry about that. Now we're back to where we were regarding the cards on episode 2. So rally and rally, so nothing to doing there. Almost tempted to pass and see what the Germans do. So yeah, I think the Russians will pass, and see how the Germans respond. Right, so the Russians are passing. The German AI, if AI plus units less than 6, the time moves on again. Bog down. So roll 1d6. 1 to 4 This unit here, the half track, is immobilized until the end of this round. Then the AI attempts to execute an order. So okay, 1 through 4 to bog down the half track. Here we go. The half track is immobilized. There is an immobilized counter, but I'm not going to dig it out just for one turn. We will just remember that this unit now cannot execute any move orders. It can fire, but it cannot move. Alright, so then the AI attempts to execute the order. Alright, so this does not apply, this does not apply. Fresh AI less than fresh units, the AI will pass. So fresh AI we have 1, 2, which is exactly the same as the fresh unit, so the AI will not pass. AI closest to a target. This now is a target because it's prior to when it was a German controlled objective, it was not a target. Now it classifies itself as a target. AI closest to a target will low risk to and this unit also is a target, of course. AI closest to a target will low risk move towards. So this guy can't move. This guy is therefore is closest, is eligible and closest. That a low risk move would not move here into the open, would move into cover. But the problem there, moving this unit into cover, is then which way would he rotate for his facing, because at the moment this guy is in the firing arc, this guy would be offering a flank shot. So let's double check the cautious move priorities. Okay, I'm calling it a cautious move. It's actually low risk move. So if in a fire zone, and this unit here, when it starts here, is in a fire zone from this unit here, the AI may move into another fire zone hex that has the same or higher defense modifier than the hex it started from. It will not move into close combat, and it will not move into a short range hex. So it will not move here, which would be short range, but it can move here. And so there we have the option, which one is it going to face off against? Given that it's got two equally, they've got the same fire attack, 3 and 3, I'm just going to roll a dice to determine, give the AI the choice. So 1, 2, 3, it will face this way, 4, 5, 6, it will face that way. And 1, so it's going to include this unit in its frontal attack. So it's going to frontal arc rather. So it's going to remain facing just like this. Okay, it spent 1 plus 1 for moving into the building. So that is 2. So let's see if that unit is spent. It is spent. Okay. Right. Now what are the... well, given that this unit here, and the Russians have observed that the half track has bogged down, so it is not going to be a threat. I think this Russian unit here is going to seize the advantage and move forward into the flanking position and close range position adjacent to this one here. Right, so that was into clear terrain, so it spent one action point here, just one here. So let's see if it is spent. And oh, well, okay. It would have been spent except for the head. So this unit is not spent. An AI unit would have been spent, but a player unit, that's me with the tick in my head, is not spent. So that's good news. So now we go back to the German AI. It is not a command order. The only eligible unit then is this one here. So these do not apply. AI closest to the lowest defense value unit will fire. There is no unit in a line of sight to this guy, so he cannot fire. Unhit AI closest to a spent unit will move towards. Well, the two things there, there's no spent Russian units, and this guy is immobilized, so that will not happen. The largest group of mobile AIs closest to a mission objective or spent unit will move. Nope, nobody's moved. This guy is not moving. Execute mission orders. The mission orders: AI in the open closest to unit move towards unit. This guy cannot move. A hit AI closest to unit will rally. We do not have a hit AI. I was for a second there I thought this was a hit unit. It is not a hit unit, it's a spent unit. So this will not occur, and the AI essentially passes because it is not able to execute any of the actions on this card. So I've got one more CP to spend. I could move in here at a cost of 2 and then fire afterwards, or but there's a risk of being spent. Two CPs, it's a significant risk. Or I could shoot from here with 3 plus 2, 5, because it's proximity, spend this 6, and roll, and a 6 or better would inflict a casualty on this guy. Tough choice, but I think I am going to shoot. So this guy here is going to do a fire action into here. I'm going to spend my last cap. So now it is shooting with a 3, plus 1 is 4, plus 2 for proximity, which is a 6, plus this dice roll, and that is only a 5, which is just 1 short, because this guy, it is a flank shot, so it's 11, but he's got 1 cover, so he's actually at 12. So this German unit is not hit. Very unfortunate. And the Russians have spent 4, almost guaranteeing that they will be spent. Wow, they are not spent with a 5. Okay. The Germans, the AI says, move the clock along 1. Time's moving along. It is not a command card, so it's only going to apply to this one, and it has to be a fire order. So, well, execute counteractions. Counteractions, if no unit just fired, a unit did fire, so counteractions do not apply. Unhit AI closest to a fresh unit that just acted, fire. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's no line of sight there. Just if we go here to here, yeah, I think that building blocks that. So this unit here has no line of sight to any enemy units, and so cannot fire. So cannot fire, cannot move. We're going to go back to the mission orders, and we don't have any units that are hit, so there is no hit AI to rally. So again, the Germans will pass. Alright, this time the Russians are moving in. So that is a cost of 2 APs. You know, if they pass, if they break rather, or if they're spent, then this unit, if he wanted to fire into here, would have to shoot at both of them. Oh well. 2 CPs. Let's see if they're spent. And they are not spent once again. The Russians rolling really well on the spent check side of life. So let's have a look and see if the Germans get a command card. No, they do not. Time does not move along again. I think they're going to be passing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. There's no moving. Hit AI closest to unit will rally. We have no hit AI. Low risk move. Mission orders require either a move or a rally. So once again, the Germans pass. Okay. So now we're here, and this Russian unit will close assault the German unit. So it's 3 fire attack plus 4, because it is in the same hex. So it's base of 7 plus, well, that's only 11, right? So once again, the German unit's flank strength is 11, but it is saved by the building. The building it is in. This unit, by the way, is in line of sight now, and maybe I should have pivoted him, but anyway, I didn't. But this unit, the AI, will not fire into a friendly hex, a hex containing a friendly unit. So once again, well, the German unit lives to fight again as the Russian dice rolling lets them down, and let's see if the Russians are spent. They have spent 4 APs, and they are finally spent. Well, I can't really complain about that. They had their chances. And so, now back to the AI. It's a command order, which means that all units on the board, which as in both German units, are potentially can be activated here. And of course we go to this one, which is a fire order. So the Germans will fire back. They're shooting with a 2 plus 6 for plus 4 rather for being in the same hex gives us a 6. And let's see what the Germans can do. 6 and 6 is 12. The right on the edge there, the Russian defense is 11, but they are also in a cover of the cover of 1 because of the building, so it makes them a 12. So they just missed, right? Did they? 2 and 4 is 6, and they rolled 6. What am I talking about? That's a hit. Yeah, they got 12, and the Russians are 11 plus 1 for the building is 12, so it equals. So we do have a casualty, so I need to reach into the cup and see what happened. Okay, bad news here for the Russians. Let's see what they got, and the answer is panicked. So cannot fire, and their defense, their flank defense is increased by 1, but their frontal defense is decreased by 2, and it will cost an 8 to recover. All right. So good shooting by the Germans, and obviously no spent check. The unit is already spent, and it was a command order. All right. Well. So now I'm wishing I should have I kept some caps, because this card costs 2 caps, costs 2 APs or caps. This unit cannot spend any APs because the unit is spent. Don't have any caps to spend, so I cannot use the auto rally, but I can make a rally attempt. So this card here, cost of 0 APs or caps, as an action, attempt to rally any unit not in close combat. So I can't use that one either, so that is not going to happen. Well, I think the Russians are going to go for broke here. This unit is coming out of the woods and adjacent to the German unit, and is going to join the fun. Alright, so he has spent 1 action point. Let's see how he goes. And of course he is spent. Alright. So back to the Germans. It is not a command card, so I think this will end up being a pass, because none of this can happen. There is no German unit to rally. No German unit can fire, because this hex here has a friendly unit in it, and no unit can move, so the Germans pass. And then the Russians pass, and 2 consecutive passes will end the round. So that's it for round 3. Russians maintaining a slight lead, 3 points to two. The time's moving along, um, but we're just barely actually halfway through the battle. But we are sort of running out of units, down to two infantry units left for the Russians, one half track and one German unit left here. So again, it's going to be critical uh, to see who wins the initiative on round four. So there you go. I hope you're enjoying this series, and I will leave it there and get this one uploaded, and we'll see you soon for round four.